One of the most fun aspects of pickleball is the strategy. Whether you've just started out or you're an advanced player, anyone can use strategy because it all comes down to the decisions you make on the court. In other words, what you choose to do or not to do becomes your strategy in each new rally. Today we're going to cover some very practical ways to use smart strategy to improve your game. With these tips, not only will you play better, but by using smart strategy, you'll play better consistently. Let's get into it.
Welcome to High Five Pickleball, where we help you play better, win more, and make the most of your time on the court. My name is Adam Richards, and today we're covering practical strategies that can take your game to the next level. When you're playing pickleball, it's smart to have a plan of action before stepping on the court. A simple strategy of what to do and what not to do can make you stand out on the court because it will help you stay focused and make smart decisions in the heat of the rally. Your strategy will likely change based on your opponent, but there are a few things to always keep in mind from point to point. And those evergreen strategies are the things we're covering in this video. But before we get into those, I want to give you a free gift. It's called the Path to Better Pickleball. This is a 30-day challenge focused on the 10 important skills every player needs to know. After signing up, you get a free downloadable skills guide and 10 step-by-step videos sent straight to your inbox every few days. Over 1,000 pickleballers have joined, and I've gotten some really positive feedback on their experience. If you'd like to join this experience and to improve your game, sign up by clicking the link in the description. All right, let's get into it. If you want to have smart strategy in pickleball, it's good to understand the third shot drop and to know how to maximize it. When you're hitting your third shot, whether it's a drive or a drop, you are at a slight disadvantage because you are further away from the net than your opponents. This means your opponents have better opportunities to hit down on the ball and more choices of where to place the ball. If you're hitting a third shot drop, you should be looking to do three things. First, you want to hit an unattackable shot. This is a shot that bounces, that your opponents can't hit out of the air, or they can't hit down on it with pace. Second, you want to neutralize your opponents. This means your shot is unattackable and they have to return a neutral shot to you. Or even better, they hit a pop-up that you can poach or attack. Third, you want to get to the non-volley zone. By getting to the non-volley zone, you can improve your chances of taking control of the net and winning the rally. Remember, it may take your 5th, 7th, or your 9th shot to get to the net, but the important point here is to neutralize your opponent and get to the non-volley zone. A smart strategy in pickleball that is often overlooked is to know when to attack the ball and when to reset the ball. One common mistake for players of all skill levels happens in the transition zone. Let's say you hit a third shot drop that doesn't neutralize your opponent and they return the ball back at your feet or your knees. The mistake happens when players attack this 5th, 7th, or 9th shot. This is a mistake because you're oftentimes in motion or off balance. The ball is at your feet, which you rarely want to attack, and you're hitting up on the ball to an opponent who is at the net with good position to counterattack. Instead, it's better to reset this ball, neutralize your opponent, and get to the net. One timeless strategy for pickleball is to leave margin for error and to always keep the rally alive if you find yourself in a defensive situation. Earlier this year, I got a chance to talk with Jim Ramsey, a broadcast statistician for the PPA Tour. He also created a Facebook group called Pro Pickleball Stats. If you haven't joined that yet, you can check it out with the link in the description. He recently analyzed 9 pro matches and counted 563 total third shot drops. From that count, 54% were returned with a volley. These third shot drops were slightly overhit. 41% bounced, which means they were successful, and 4% went into the net, which means they were failures. Out of 563 third shot drops, 541 were kept in play. This means that the majority of third shots hit by professionals were overhit, but they were kept in play. The strategy takeaway here is when you're hitting your third shots, whether it's a drive or a drop, you may try and hit the perfect shot, but it's better to keep the rally going and to leave margin for error. If you're under pressure and you know you're going to miss high. Keep the rally alive and get ready for your 5th, your 7th, or your 9th shot. One great pickleball strategy is to look for ways to apply physical and mental pressure on your opponents. One great way to always apply pressure is to hit the ball at your opponent's feet. This forces mental pressure on your opponents to decide to volley the ball or to let it bounce. Another way to apply pressure is on your return of serve. You can apply pressure by hitting the ball deep at their feet, keeping your opponent's back on the baseline. You can also apply pressure at the net by taking away reaction time from your opponents. You can do this by volleying dinks or hitting dinks out of the air. You can apply mental pressure on your opponents and hit the ball to the middle or between your opponents. This forces your opponents to communicate and force a decision. And lastly, you can also apply physical pressure on your opponents by making them move. To do this, never dink the ball in the same spot twice. Always keep your opponents moving. Patience is a smart strategy because if you're patient, you won't force unnecessary shots. Oftentimes, forced shots end up in the net or they go out. And secondly, patience will help you outlast your opponent. Patience may sound like a subjective strategy, but there are a few ways you can practice it. For example, don't hit the ball on the run or run through the ball when you're swinging. Another way to practice patience is to wait on the ball to bounce at its apex before swinging. And lastly, a great way to practice patience is to only attack shots that are in the green zone. Or if you're going to attack a ball in the yellow zone, you know you can get it over the net 80% of the time. Which strategy was most helpful for you? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed this content or if you learned something new, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another update from High Five Pickleball. Thanks for watching.